In Tuesday's Pennsylvania primary, voters in the Lawrence County community of New Wilmington voted 240 to 114, a more than 2-to-1 margin, to allow for the sale of alcoholic beverages in the borough. What was, since the 1930s, a dry town is now wet. But don't think all of a sudden bars are going to be opening on the streets next to Westminster College. There are some restrictions. Today outside New Wilmington's Tavern on the Square restaurant, owners Todd and Alma Ulisny showed me the sign on the building.
This is my new favorite color, orange.
It's a notice that Tavern on the Square has applied for a liquor license now that voters in New Wilmington have approved changing the community from dry to wet. It was the Ulisnys who led the campaign for passage, and pending approval will likely get the first license.
We didn't want to let anyone down, so we bought our license before the vote. It was a gamble.
A gamble that paid off. Tavern on the Square hopes to be serving alcohol in 60 days. The sounds of Amish buggies are often heard in New Wilmington. It's a quaint little town, and most people here want to keep it that way, which is why a provision was put in the law to prevent bars from lining the streets.
They would have to have a restaurant license to do so. The petition that we signed, the vote that was carried, was to authorize restaurants.
I was so over the top elated that it passed.
Sherry Babb is not only New Wilmington's mayor, but she also sells real estate.
First thing in the morning, I received several calls wanting to buy a building.
The mayor part of her will also make sure the issuing of liquor licenses will be strictly regulated.
But any other license, anyone else wanting to put in a restaurant with a liquor license would have to go before Borough Council to do that.
Oh, yeah.
That was Wendy Farmery's reaction when I asked if she supported the liquor option. She runs the Silk Road Fair Trade Market across from the tavern.
I think there's going to be more businesses coming in, there's going to be more restaurants coming in, there's going to be more places to shop. I think it's going to make us a little livelier. I don't think it's going to change the fabric of our town one bit. There are actually places in downtown Wilmington that sell liquor. Hop Asylum and Fractured Grape make their own beer and wine, and under a relatively new state law were allowed to open if they manufactured their own product. The law was used to promote Pennsylvania's craft beer and wine industry.